next 45 minutes. First slide, please. Most of you know very well Swami Vivekananda, his biography or his life. I am not going to touch upon, but what I touch upon is that to become a scientist, what are all the requisite qualities that he had? Just like any scientist, you all undergo through your so many examinations and then come over here, and then in the subsequent periods you will become the scientific investigators and all the other things. Such, what are the qualifications in case of the Swami Vivekananda? To touch very briefly, he is the personification of the Upanishads, the Vedanta. What the Upanishads or Vedanta essentially they speak of, he himself, Swamiji, he said, fearlessness, strength, and then seeking of the truth. Whether these qualities he had, I think not even a single person in this audience will say he doesn't have these things. Yes, he has. Fearlessness, strength, and then the truthful seeking of the truth. And I am completely sure you will agree this is one of the fundamental requisites for a scientist to become a scientist really. Many of the people are afraid of something, but science doesn't see whether you are obedient or something. Whether science, it sees what is the truth. So that is the first quality. And he is the master of the Patanjali Yoga. Of course, you know it very well. The yoga, I don't need to dwell on this. Your yama, niyama, pratyahara, jhana, dharana, and then samadhi. And all these things, he is a master. And you know it very well. He has written books on the Chatushtha Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. And from that angle, if you see, he has seen the internal journey of going through logically, very systematically, and then see what is the truth out of that one. So Swamiji is a great Siddha Yogi of this Patanjali Sutras, and then he is a holistic personality. An integrated personality, if at all, we would like to see and set for. I don't think I'll come across a person other than Swamiji. And the Swamiji, I'll say, if you may or may not like, I use the word, he is a divine chameleon. This chameleon, you know it very well. Wherever it goes, it takes its color, it adapts to that particular thing, and it becomes into that one. He is a divine chameleon. And whatever the subject that you take, whether it is nationality, or whether it is human welfare, or whether it is socialism, or whether it is communism, or whether it is youth, any subject that you talk, yes, he is there. He is there. He is a master. There is nothing that he has left as subject which is not untouched. So from that angle, I see him as holistic personality. Of course, no doubt, he is an icon of the youth, or otherwise so many youth people would not have been here. And government of India, with all the politics, would not have declared a personality like Swamiji as a National Youth Day on January 12th. Icon of youth, no doubt about that one. That youthness he retained till his last day of the physical body. And that youthfulness is the thing that what science requires if a scientist would like to investigate of what he is doing. Yes, that requisite quality is there, and he is the inspirer of the great personalities. Any of the scientists, any of your professors and all the other things, they are not only great in by themselves, they inspire. What Swami Vivekananda has inspired? Millions of people. But I mentioned few of the things, like if today Indian Institute of Science is there, most of you know it very well, the foundations were laid by Swamiji. Because out of the dialogue between him and Tata when they were traveling, the subject has come. There was a letter from some Tata himself saying that Indian Institute of Science, yes, Swamiji, I am forming, I offer you the directorship for that one, the first directorship. But Swamiji, he is much beyond all these things, and that Tata Institute of Science created hundreds and thousands of brilliant minds that inspired in the last, whatever the years of 50 years or 60 years or whatsoever it is. And then a rebellion, arrogant, aristocrat, doesn't want to bend, a personality like Rockefeller. The Rockefeller Foundation laid by Swamiji. If you read the life of Rockefeller, it is so inspiring. And the conversation that has taken place between Swamiji and Rockefeller is much more interesting. So Rockefeller Foundation, most of you youngsters may be going on the fellowships of the Rockefeller Foundation fellowships. That is considered to be one of the prestigious things that institution has been done. And there are hundreds and thousands of institutions that are bearing the name of the Swami Vivekananda. No doubt about it, but much more the challenging thing is that the establishment of the Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission itself. These Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission ideals, aspirations, and life goals are based on the principles of the Holy Trinity, Sri Ramakrishna, Sarada Devi, and Swami Vivekananda. And then maybe there are few hundreds, but they have created hundreds of the youth like you. They inspired. Today, all over the globe, it is not my feeling just because I am a devotee of the Ramakrishna Mutt, but generally, if you hear say, yes, here is an organization, the organization that stands for the intellectual thing, and then the services that what they render, such an institution has been built by Swami Vivekananda. And then, like this, if I keep on saying, if I summarize these things, you yourself, you feel whether Swamiji has got the basic requisite things or not. At this stage, I'll just go to the next slide. Intuition. I'll go very deeply onto the subject later, but intuition, whether it is recognized by the scientists or not. You look at what the Einstein he says. Einstein is a great personality by himself. What he says is that the really valuable thing in creative science is intuition. But the top one you read, intuition is the master and rationalism is the slave. But what has happened, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift and rationalism a faithful servant. We have created a society, the honors of the servant and forgotten the master. It is true or not? Yes, it is true. It is true. And then the intellect has little to do on the road to the discovery. Many people, they think intellectualism is the most important thing to discovery. What he says is that there comes in a leap of consciousness, call it intuition or what you will, and the solution comes to you and you don't know how and why. What you call that? By what name you call that? Probably we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. But this is what is the feeling of the Einstein by himself. Next slide, please. What is science? All of you know very well. And you have followed that one also. You make observations. You make some logical deductions. You make some experiments. You draw some conclusions. You repeat them. And then see the logic behind that one and make the generalities and make the theories. All these things are there, step by step they go. Step by step they go. But what the Feynman probably is one more icon for all of you before you come to the IETE. The Feynman, the great Feynman. I don't think anyone has come to IETE without reading the Feynman. That what Feynman says, yes, what he says is that the test of all knowledge is experiment.